Hello everybody, I am Mike from the Rewatch Project with Hannah and Mike podcast, and I am back with another edition of Front Row, these music performance reaction videos, and I'm back in the wonderful world of one Elvis Presley with a review of a song from the late 50s, I think it is. I think it's from 1959. This is a song called Don't. I don't know this song, so this will be a honest and pure as the driven snow first time listen reaction. So quick reminder that I do talk over these reactions. I do pause the videos. That's how I choose to do this. It is what it is. If that is not to your taste, then I do not know what to tell you. However, I would suggest that if you haven't heard this song before, that you do not follow my terrible example and that you listen to it in its entirety before I butcher it by talking all over it and pausing it and doing all of those aforementioned blasphemous things to this piece of music. Also a reminder that I do appreciate feedback. You can leave comments here on the channel, and also please do check out the other content on this channel, including the Rewatch Project with Hannah and Mike podcast, where we go back and rewatch some of our favorite film and television franchises, in addition to the other film, TV, music in general, pop culture related goodness that also cohabits this channel. Likes and subscribes very much appreciated. The more people who subscribe, the more conversation ensues, and that is a great motivator for doing these with a higher level of regularity. Last but not least, a reminder that we do appreciate donations via PayPal, but please only do so if you can without causing yourself any financial hardship, because we certainly do not want that. Elvis wouldn't want that, I don't think. Speaking of which, or speaking of whom, don't. Elvis Presley. Really want to hear this song, so let's get into it. Here we go.
Don't. That's what you say. Each time that I hold you this way.
There's something that a lot of singers from this era had that I think is lost. And I don't say this as, old man shouting at cloud or things used to be better. And that's not what I mean. There's a lot of wonderful music around now, and, wonderful music that benefits from the technology and the accumulative history of popular culture. But there was something about music from this era. And I think of people like Elvis. I think of people like Roy Orbison. And I think of early rock and roll ballads, doo-wop music as well. It let you dream. There was a dreaminess in every sense of the word, whether that be the dreams of, these fantasy figures of the pop stars and the, what we assumed were these wonderful, glamorous, exciting lives that they had. There was the escapism from the mundanity of the world that they gave us. There was this sense of community and of being part of this larger collective consciousness of not only fans of that music, but also of people who experience love and loss and joy and happiness and all of the things that music can convey in a way that no other art form can. But there's also, in songs like this, something intrinsic to the sound that feels dreamy. There's a weightlessness, a floatiness, an ethereal quality to the music that you feel like you're drifting away with, that you're floating with, that is really intangible and esoteric, and it's something that you feel and that you experience more than you understand or can articulate. The idea of this song as well is kind of amusing, this idea of, I don't think there were too many women probably saying don't to Elvis back in the late 50s. But yeah, beautiful, beautiful sound. And the vocal, not just Elvis's, but the kind of the bedrock, the clouds, I call them. Sometimes it feels like Elvis is his vocals are floating on clouds of backing vocals and piano and just beautiful reverb and all the things that you get from this era.
When I feel like this and I want to kiss you, baby, don't say no.
And this idea of desire as well, because this was around the era where the teenager as a cultural force was first really manifesting itself. And one of the things this song's talking about is this idea of not wanting to give in to the temptation, but feeling that anyway. And that can be adolescence. It can be just a sexual thing, but it can also be giving into the world of rock and roll, the world of fast cars and cheeseburgers, and what I think a lot of grown-ups at the time would have seen as being delinquency. It's just really interesting, resonant stuff when you view it in this historical context.
Don't leave my embrace, for here in my arms is your place.
It's the uncertainty of knowing whether you give in to these feelings that you have as a young person, but at the same time, not wanting to lose that connection, that kind of tension and that uncertainty, and that's central to Elvis's persona as well. I talked before about the spiritual and the profane, this pull, it's here.
When the night grows cold and I want to hold you, baby, don't say don't. If you think that this is just a game I'm playing, if you think that I don't mean every word I am saying, don't feel that way. I'm your love and yours I will stay. This you can believe, I will never leave you. Heaven knows I won't. Baby, don't say don't. Please don't.
Yeah, that was beautiful. I think one of the things that's interesting about that song is that it soars, but at the same time it whispers to you. And I've spoke before about how Elvis was really great at judging how to scale his performance to his distance from the audience. And of course, when you're playing at an arena, it's like theatre, isn't it? You're projecting. But what you get here is this is much more like television. This is him singing in a way, and the backing vocals as well, are singing in ways that they're whispering in your ear. They're making you lean in. And what that does is that creates a sense of complicity with the singer. You feel like you're an intimacy as well, And for a song that's romantic, obviously that works very well. But at the same time, the pitch perfect clarity of the vocals, and he sounds young, and it really captures that feeling of uncertainty and hunger and desire, but also fear, and fear of what might happen or what you might lose. The thing about desire is, with desire is want and need. And where there's want and need, there's fear of loss and fear of what might happen and fear of the unknown and fear of uncertainty. And I feel like this song really captures that wonderfully. What a wonderful vocal. So, let me know what to cover next. Quick reminder to check out the other content on this channel, including I'm doing reactions to the new Bruce Springsteen box set that's coming out. So if that interests you, check that out. But also do check out the other film, TV, music, and general pop culture stuff that is also on this channel. Likes and subscribes, really, really appreciated. But the big thing really is communication. Chat to me. I want to hear what you think and what your experiences are and what you'd like to watch on this channel.